As exciting as it is getting new bikes, it's also exciting getting some new fun bike stuff. We just got an order from Fanatik Bike Co, and we're gonna show you guys what we got.
Now, we just ordered Tessa's new bike. It's not here yet, but that video is coming super soon. And most of these parts are for my Chameleon. You know, the idea behind the Chameleon was ride it in the stock form as long as possible and then see what parts bug me and swap out the parts that bug me. Since we travel full time, we don't have a local bike shop. A great bike shop is a wonderful thing, and we've seen some great ones out there. We've also seen some awful ones out there. And so because of our needs, it made sense to go with an online retailer. Because a lot of the times I'll come in and I'll say, hey, do you have such and such cassette? And they'll say, no, but I can order it for you. That's like, and I get it. I worked at a bike shop since '96, and that's what happens. You can't, poor bike shops, they have a million tire sizes, a million hub sizes, a million bottom bracket standards. They can't carry all that, and I totally get it. But because of our needs, we need something now, not a week from now, because a week from now we'll be somewhere else. So we decided to partner with an online retailer.
It allows us to get a package delivered where we need it, when we need it. So Fanatik Bike Company is a brick and mortar shop in Bellingham, Washington, but they branched out into doing some really cool stuff online. They build amazing custom bikes and ship them for you, and they also have just a regular bike shop with all the components and bits and bobs that you need along the way.
And a lot of times when we go to shops, a lot of the employees don't have the technical knowledge that I wish they did. And that's okay, because most people shopping for bikes are new. You know, most people don't go in knowing exactly what they want. We do. We're kind of difficult customers.
By the time we go into a shop, we usually know exactly what we're looking for.
In the size and color and model, and whereas a lot of people will walk in and say, my derailleur broke, what can you replace it with? And they'll replace it with what they have. So a lot of shops don't need to be as technical as they can, and a lot of them are, you know, high school guys or guys new to the industry. Granted, there are some huge exceptions, and Fanatik is one of them. There aren't very many bike shops that can talk circles around me with bike tech, but Fanatik, these guys know their stuff.
In fact, you guys should check out their YouTube channel. I'll make sure that I link that. That was actually how I first found out about them. They have some really cool bike reviews and tech videos.
Yeah, so Dan and Jaden especially do awesome videos, and they've ridden a ton of different bikes and a ton of different parts, and you can actually compare them and say like, hey, how does this compare to something else I'm familiar with? And they can answer that. And they have amazing wheel builders there. They have the coolest shop where you can build a custom wheel online or wheel set, and that's what I did. I've got a wheel in here. I'm going to show it to you. And they built it up exactly how I wanted it, in the color I wanted it, all the specs exactly how I wanted it. So when you know what you want and you want something custom, it's worth getting the right thing the first time instead of buying whatever's on sale, but then a year later saying, oh man, I should have just bought exactly what I wanted. So we're super excited to announce our partnership with Fanatik Bike Company. They are amazing people, and let's show you what we got. Let's dig into it. So most of this is for me, for my Chameleon, because Tessa's getting
It's gonna be sick build.
She's getting an amazing bike. So here we go. Okay, these are the IXS Flow Evo Plus. Dan recommended these, and I really trust Dan's recommendation, so I checked these out. These are cool. They have a removable pad, and they also have that impact foam, so it's soft when you're riding and when it's warm, but when you hit something, it hardens up, kind of like that non-Newtonian fluid. These have a lot of venting in the back, and they're lightweight but very protective. That's what I wanted. I wanted to be able to pedal in them without feeling like I was wearing skater knee pads. So
they look like they're going to be really comfy. Oh, I will make sure that I list all of the stuff that we got in this order in the description below. So make sure you check that out. You do that one.
All right. This one is exciting for me, probably not as exciting for Tess. It's a tool. This is a Park Tool DAG 2.2. It's a derailleur hanger alignment guide. A lot of times moving the bikes in and out of the vans or hitting them on rocks or transporting them or shuttling or whatever, the derailleur hanger will get bent. and then your shifting's off. And the only way to get it aligned is with one of these. Now, we have very limited space in the van, so a tool this big better be worth its weight in gold, and it is. This is the tool to have if you're often bending derailleur hangers, and we're often fixing other people's bikes too. We'll go on group rides and swap bikes, and I'll realize their hanger's bent, and this will be good to be able to fix other people's bikes as well. So that's exciting for me.
We got some chains. We got an 11 speed for Steve's bike and a couple of 12 speeds and some 12 speed master links for my bike that's coming. So there's a teaser for you. I'm going to have Eagle 12 speed on my new bike. Oh, here's your, want to show these?
Okay, yes. So, my Chameleon came with Deity pedals. The shop I bought it from, that's all they had. They were the plastic ones. Deity's a cool brand. They're out of Idaho. It's a family-owned business. I know a lot of people that ride Deity components and love them. And the shop said, you're going to love these pedals. So I tried them out. I don't love them. I hate them. They're one of my least favorite pedals, which is a bummer because I like small family-owned companies. But every time I hopped on a bike with Chesters, I was just like, the Chesters are 3 times better. And they're the same price, but the shop I bought it from didn't have Chesters, so I got what it came with. So I ordered some more Chesters because contact points where your body contacts the bike are super important and super personal. Just because I love Chesters doesn't mean you will love them. You'll need to find out what your favorite pedals are. And so when I talked to Dan at Fanatik and ordered these, he says, you've got to try the OneUp pedals too. So I got the Chesters and these OneUp composites that Dan recommended. These are a little bit bigger platform. They're a lot similar to the Kona Wawa, and Dan said he really liked them. So I decided to get a pair of these too, and I'm going to try them back to back with the Chesters.
I may run them at some point too, because I think it'd be fun to kind of do them back to back with the Chesters a little bit.
We'll let you know what we think. I appreciate people like Dan though recommending stuff like this because he's tried it all. He likes the Chesters too, but he prefers the OneUps a little bit. And we've heard from some of you that prefer these as well. Well, let me talk about OneUp real quick. OneUp is an awesome company. The first time I became familiar with them, I was converting a 3x9 bike, so 3 gears in the front and 9 in the back. I was converting it to a 1x10. And OneUp has some really cool products that make conversion stuff easier. So if your bike is a boost bike, but your old wheel set is not a boost wheel set, they've got the part to make it fit, or brake adapters, or derailleur adapters, or all these little things that help you get up to the latest spec without having to completely buy all new everything. I'm a huge fan of OneUp components. Another thing I really don't like about my Chameleon is the dropper post lever. The post is fine, but the lever, there's a little tightening nut on it that gets loose. And to tighten the cable on a lot of these, the adjustment is at the seat post. So you have to raise the seat post out of the frame, feed a whole bunch of cable through, loosen the clamp, and then feed the cable through the perfect amount and tighten it and then run it all back, and it's a pain in the butt. So this Wolf Tooth remote is super slick. Wolf Tooth is another one of those companies who makes amazing products the way that the original people should have made them. And they're really well built. This has great bearings, great adjustment. It's a simple but really well built product. And the clamp for the cable is on this end, so I can tighten the cable at my bar without having to fish stuff through. And that is a huge time saver, and it's really great. And these have an awesome feeling on them too. They feel really great when you're dropping the dropper post. And the one on my Santa Cruz kept coming loose, and so I'd hit it and it wouldn't pull the cable enough, and the seat wouldn't drop when I needed it to. So even though these are a little bit pricey, they are so worth it.
Our friend Hannah, she runs one of those, and it felt really nice.
Yeah, I love these. All right, what else we got? Something big.
This one I'm excited for, because I ride Steve's Chameleon sometimes too, and the worst part about that bike is the hub, and this will help solve that.
So let me talk about that. The hub isn't bad, it's just entry level. And all entry level hubs, even like a DT Swiss 350 or a 240, they have so much play between when it actually grabs and when you pedal. You can get like several degrees of rotation before it grabs. Now for new riders, that's no problem, and for people who are used to that, that's no problem. But once you go to good hubs, it totally spoils you. And
Yeah,
she
you
can
get.
feel it.
I like to use half ratchet sometimes coming up technical stuff where you pause for a second. So that like good quarter turn is what it feels like before it engages again. It can be really frustrating when you're trying to climb something technical and rocky.
And surprisingly, I didn't realize this until my last wheel set. The shifting depends on that engagement too. A higher engaging hub shifts better. I don't know how it works, but when I shift on the hub that's on this, it's the best shifting I've ever had. Okay, this is a top of the line, super expensive wheel. And I think a rear hub is the best investment, the best bang for your buck you can get. So let's show it to you. The guys at Fanatik have an amazing wheel builder, and they can build all sorts of custom rims with your favorite hubs, with your favorite spokes. And this is my favorite component of all time. It is an Onyx hub, Onyx racing product. It is 100% silent with a Sprag clutch inside. There's no teeth on a ratcheting system, and so there's almost zero drag when you spin it, and it's as silent as a front hub. Super silent, and the engagement is instant. But there are two downsides to this hub. One, it's heavy, and two, it's extremely expensive. I don't care about either of those things for this product. For me, a good hub and a good wheel is worth every penny you spend on it, and it can be swapped from bike to bike. So I have the Onyx hub on my old Bronson, and I kept those wheels because I love the Onyx so much, and I really wanted that on this. There's no other hub I like even half as much as this. I love the Onyx hub. So that's the hub. I could have just laced it up myself to the existing wheel, but those Race Face ARC rims, while great for a budget, they're a little bit soft. And this DT Swiss XM551 is a burly rim. I could have gone lighter with a carbon rim, but this is for my bike packing bike, the bike I take to skate parks, the bike I take to dirt jumps and pump tracks and stuff. And if I'm in the middle of a 200-mile bike packing trip and I crack a carbon rim, I'm walking out. There's no repair you can do for that. You're not going to crack an aluminum rim. You can dent it and then bend it back, and you can really trash them. But I just really felt better running aluminum rims on a bike that is going to get me out in the middle of nowhere, and I want to be able to get back. So I got a great rim, great hub, and an awesome wheel builder. A lot of people don't realize it, but the person that builds your wheel and how it's built is every bit as important as the components on it. Just because the spokes are there doesn't mean they did a good job building it. So the guys at Fanatik, I fully trust them to build my wheels. I'm super thankful that they got this to me so quick, and I cannot wait to run this on the Chameleon. This will be a huge upgrade. Granted, it's super expensive, but I didn't replace the front wheel because I don't need to. A front wheel, the hubs don't make hardly any difference. Some might have special bearings that roll a little bit faster, but your front wheel has all that suspension up front. You hardly ever ding the rim on a front wheel. I've never tacoed a wheel, period, especially a front wheel. So I just kept the budget stock front wheel on that, which will be just fine, and just beefed up the rear wheel. Anyway, that's my thoughts on that.
Last thing we got is a new pair of chunky ESI grips. Steve and I both really like these. The only thing that's a bummer is that they're not super durable, but the price is right, so it's good to keep an extra pair around so that when they really start getting chipped and nasty, you got them, you can toss a new set on.
Yeah, clamp-on grips are really convenient when you need to pull them off and switch your derailleur and brakes and stuff. But they come at a price because they've got that hard plastic inner, and so most lock-on grips are pretty thin. And I've fallen back in love with slip-on grips like this. They've never slipped on me. They're super comfortable. One thing to note that I didn't know for a while, there's a flat spot on these grips.
Probably just because of how they're stored, but...
Yeah, I'm not sure if it's how they're stored or how they're built, but all these grips have a flat spot on them, so when you put them on, put the flat spot where you want it. For me, I like the flat spot away from my fingers where I don't feel it, because if I put it in my palm, it kind of makes a little bit of a corner that's uncomfortable. I like the thick ones, the extra chunkies. Tess likes the chunkies. They're super cheap. They're under 25 bucks. They come in cool colors. Great, great upgrade. Anyway, that's exciting. My bike's going to feel like a new bike now, even though it's fairly new. It's probably 4 months old now.
And I'll feel good hitting the trail knowing I've got a backup chain waiting in the van and I've got a master link with me in my pack. And so yeah, it was good to get a haul. We needed this. We've got an exciting season ahead of us, and it's fun to show you guys what we've got. So if you're in need of any components and you're looking for a great online shop to buy from, make sure that you check out Fanatik. Thanks for watching, everybody. Get dusty.